Mike McConville here, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. We have a glorious spring day here. We're up to 29 degrees Celsius today. Hallelujah. I think winter's finally broken. We have this Martin guitar that was very badly dried out, and you saw a few videos ago. So I've just been humidifying it actually for the last couple of weeks. And big improvement. We're going to be slipping that bridge off, just setting up the heat lamp to do that. As always, give you play-by-play. We are very gently heating this up, heating right through the body of the bridge down to the glue line. I have my little tapered shims that come right to a knife edge at this side. I keep those handy as I go. There is the probe. This is the probe that I use. On the underside, there's a very shallow slope, almost an inch from the leading edge into the body of the probe. On the other side, this side, it's a little bit steeper. It goes in, you can see the tooling marks there. It goes in about a half an inch. This edge is buffed. That is like a scalpel, super sharp. So I heat this up on the canvas strop with some compound until it's way too hot to touch, but not hot enough to scorch the finish. And then this will just sink right into the glue line. And once again, we'll give you a play-by-play and give you a real close-up on exactly what it looks like when we get that bridge off. So we've worked this loose on the base side, and I have those shims to kind of hold it up, and that actually puts a bit of upward force on it too. I've shifted the guitar over a little bit, and we're favoring kind of center to the treble wing of the bridge. We're going to heat that through, and we're going to work it just a little bit more. So now we're just heating up that last little bit, that treble wing, and we'll slip that off nice and clean. Okay, so we have that released now. So I think we got that off good and clean. A lot of the time with Taylor guitars as well, they have like a nylon indexing pin that you need to kind of slice through. Let's have a real close look. So this is what we ended up with. We're going to clean up the foot of that bridge, and you can see how around the perimeter that's basically dry. There's no glue there. Well, we're going to get 100% contact. When we glue this bridge on, it's not coming off. And we won't need indexing pins because we'll be able to just wax the bridge pins like I've done in previous videos, push them into place, and that will perform the same job that they did at the Martin factory with the indexing pins. Our next step now is to prepare the soundboard surface for re-gluing the bridge that we just removed. So what I've done here is I've gone around the perimeter of the bridge and precisely marked the footprint of the bridge. Put those two outside pins in to make sure the bridge is precisely in place. Now we can start to clean up the soundboard surface, and we'll also dress the foot of the bridge to get a perfect match. What I'm doing here is I'm sanding, or really just brushing across that surface very lightly with 180 grit. We want to try and get that surface as clean as we possibly can. So I'm really kind of removing the glue. You got to be very careful when you're doing this. All we're doing is resurfacing the whole area. You don't want to go digging a hole with a sanding block. Now we have a flawless surface all the way around. There is no ridge. We're going to get 100% contact. We need to obviously prepare the foot of the bridge now. Give you a bird's eye view of the foot of this bridge as I prepare it. And before I do the final little bit of sanding with a spherical disc sander, I wanted to point out that corner. See, we have not touched this corner. The rest of the bridge is 100%. So before I finish it up, I just wanted to point that out. Now we'll go ahead with that 30-foot spherical disc sander. Any of my students that are lucky enough to have one of these things, they can definitely appreciate it. I'm sure they've made their money back 100 times over. Just before I glue that bridge on, I thought I would put it on the joiner table, just to give you an appreciation of the tolerances we're talking here. Now when I press down, see that? That is why we will get a perfect fit. We're getting ready to glue that bridge on, but before we do, I thought I'd walk you 360 around the perimeter of the bridge, and let's take a real close look. Okay, we're all set up, ready to glue, calmly, peacefully, methodically. For the benefit of my subscribers and level 1 and level 2 students that have not seen any of the other videos I've done on this subject, I just want to give you a heads up again. So what I've got here is I have all of my sort of scoop up sticks. Now these are the same wedges that were used to remove that bridge earlier in the video. So I've got 5 pieces of cloth. 2 of those will be wet cloths, 3 of them will be dry cloths. So everything is prepared well in advance. When we spread the glue, we know exactly what we're doing step by step. So we're going to spread that glue. Careful not to put too much over the bridge pin holes. You don't want the stuff dripping inside the guitar. We're just going to spread that like so. So what we've got now is that bed of glue is essentially going to be the same thickness as the finish on the guitar. And this is how we guarantee 100% contact. Got our indexing pins there, and that will guarantee us a perfect bridge location. There we go. And so we'll tighten down the treble side. You should see glue squeeze all the way along there, 100%, and that's what we've got. And then finally, the bass side call. So we're going to clean that up in a sec. And we'll take a look at this side. So this is after the glue squeeze was wiped up. There's mission accomplished. You know, you see so many videos online where someone glues a bridge on and then they give you a shot from 5 feet away and say, oh yeah, that went on really good. So I thought I'd take the time to do this for your benefit, to show you just how accurate a fit you can have when you do it right. I'm not afraid to hand my customers a jeweler's loupe, and they can look as close as they want. Okay, here's where we are with this, Martin. Now we've got that bridge saddle in place. The bridge, of course, was re-glued. That's all done. That's taken care of. Right now we're doing that proverbial neck dress at the neck junction, and there were a few high spots right there. So we've leveled that, brought it down. Now we'll re-crown and polish. And we're going to set this up with 11 to 52 strings, kind of lighten the load a little bit. We did manage to humidify that guitar over the last few weeks, and it leveled out pretty nicely. And there's a cleat gluing as we speak. We'll probably put another couple of small diamond cleats in there, and then that'll be it as far as the side goes. It'll be structurally sound. Okay, we have reattached that plaque with two-sided tape that was covering the bolt on the neck block, and the frets are dressed, leveled, crowned, polished. The bridge was removed and resurfaced and re-glued. The various cracks in the side were dealt with, and the neck angle was corrected and set. Well, when you look across this top now, it's a lot better than it was, and that's strictly humidity. It appears that putting that radius on the underside of the foot of the bridge did help the top to form into that 30-foot radius and reduced that dishing at the sound hole. Anyway, it's all done now. Bridge is done. Everything's intonated. Frets have been leveled, dressed, and polished. It's set up for 11 to 52 strings at concert pitch, and we're just getting ready to call Sarah to take her baby home. Cheers. For most music stores, I'm not saying all music stores, but for most music stores, repairs and setups are a barely tolerable irritation. This guitar is a perfect example. When she took it into the store and asked about it, they said, oh, you may as well just buy a new guitar. It's like, I mean, they didn't come right out and say, just toss it out, it's no good. But really, the real truth behind that comment is they can't be bothered doing what needs to be done. Because quite frankly, as you can see in this video, there were quite a few things that needed to be done. But the end result is perfection. This guitar has never played as good as it plays right now, never played as accurately as it plays right now, and has never been as stable as it is right now. Money well spent, fully restored Mahogany Dreadnought Martin. Cheers.